she's like, wow, this is great. I can swim now. This is awesome. Like, there's no fighting for room up here anymore. So Goddess is like, okay, well, I'm going to take off again. Go get those fish, and then we'll be back in, about a week or two. And it's just forever again before Lilith. So Goddess comes back, and Lilith's sitting by the tree again. And she's like, all depressed again. And the Goddess is like, what's wrong? She goes, I fixed the problem. It's good now, right? She's like, that's not it. She said, what's wrong, Lilith? And Lilith's like, listen, I love all these animals. I've named them all. I named the fish. I'm done. My job's done. I can't talk to you. I'm not bored. I'm just bored. There's nobody talking to you. She, Goddess goes, I can fix that. And she's like, really? She goes, yeah. I can make another one of you. Yeah. She's like, really? She goes, yeah. I could do you one better. She goes, I'll get you the stick model. And she's like, what's a stick model? She goes, well, with the stick model, you'll be able to make more of it. You see how more than just the stick model to talk to. And she's like, I'll take a stick model. So Goddess reached into the bush, pulled out the boob, and created Adam.
Wow, I love that.
Now I can prove this genetically, not just with the story, because the woman is the XX, and you know your genetics, right? That's the base human being, is a woman, not a man.
There we go. Yep.
Then what happens? It takes a mutation to create the Y at some point in the birth, right? In the birthing process, or in the gestation process, for it to become us, the mutant.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, because if you looked at a person with 3 boobs, you would say they're a mutant, because they're actually a third boob. The third boob is a mutant, it is us. And it's why men can't help but stare at a woman's chest. And it's not they're looking at the left boob, and they're not looking at the right boob. They're looking right here at home, where they came from.
That's pretty
so
neat.
fascinating.
I got shivers from that one. Right on my shoulders and my arms and my back.
So now,
Cool.
Now, Adam's here. Okay, everything's gonna be cool, right? They can make babies, and well, no. Goddess took off, and Lilith's like, okay, get down there on the ground. I'm gonna make some babies. And Adam's like, wait, no, I want to be on top. And Lilith's like, wait a second, bro. Remember, you're my boob. You can do what I tell you, okay?
Oh my God.
And Adam's like, nah. I want to be on top. And Lilith's like, listen, I'm in charge. I'm the default human being who was put on this planet. You were just a mutation of me. You do what I tell you. And he was not having none of it. He's like, nope, I want to be on top. I want to go. So she called Goddess. She's like, this is too much. And she says, Goddess, like, what's wrong with it? She's like, this guy ain't cooperating. The stick model ain't working out. So maybe I need an automatic.
My God.
So Lilith's like, her Goddess is like, well, let me know something. So she's like, Adam, listen. He's like, what? Can we do a 37? 64, 50, 50. You know, if one's on top, the other one on top. No, I want to be on top all the time. I was trying to make up, because, you know, he's trying to make up. So, yeah, not sure. So I don't even know how to so, you know, now she's like just frustrated. She just can't, you know. I mean, she's Goddess in this freaking mutant. You won't listen to her. Won't listen to her, his default human being. The first, she's divine and she's human, both. She's the first divine human being in existence. She's very special. She's got both human and divinity. And this, you know, thing that's just kind of, you know, piece of her is just giving her too much rest. And now giving Goddess. So Goddess is like, I have had enough. I've had enough. And she created God.
Whoa.
She said, dude, you deal with this guy. So now God is trying. You know, Goddess takes off. She's had enough. And God's like, hey, Adam, come on. Dude, listen, you know, we're both stick models, right? You know, come on, bro. Get there a little bit. He's like, no, I'm not. He just had this, like, serious, like, you know, I want to be in charge issue, you know? It's kind of
Take
he's
power
a
back
little
or
shorter,
something.
wasn't quite as tall. She's like, you know, he had that problem. So God's finally, he's like, I'm at my wit's end with this. God, what am I going to do? I got to help the populate, because he knew the mission was to populate the planet with a human being, divine human being. She said, listen, love, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go ahead and cut off this relationship. I'm gonna give you all the powers of Goddess that I have.
Whoa.
All of them.
Whoa.
And she's like, no, I'm a divine human being. You're trying to take away one half of me, my human self. I'm not rolling with that. No, I'm already a divine human. Why would I want to be just divine?
Yeah.
I've got both. And he's like, yeah, but I can't work out this problem. You guys aren't getting together. We can't populate the planet. And she's like, no, bullshit. So finally he just did it. He just did it. He gave her just pure divinity. It took away humanity.
Whoa, okay.
She didn't ever forget it. So now he takes the rib from Adam. There's your one. Right? There's your
Whoa,
one.
okay.
Right? Now Eve is great. Now Adam and Eve. The Adam and Eve stories, they're ready to start populating. But God says, listen, Eve, don't go into that garden over there. Don't talk to that serpent over there. Do not eat that fruit. Don't do it. Why? I just don't do it. Okay, so she's listening to, God, and this is her creator, and this is where she came from. So one day, being curious, she went to the garden of Eden, and the snake came, and the snake wasn't Lucifer, it was Lilith. And Lilith's like,
So we took it back and released it, and then freeze dried it. So then you can put it in here, and it was like a kind of like
I am God.
formulation. Because one of the things we've had a problem with our gummy formulations is that gummies have to get
Adam.
really hot. And it's hard to kind of stabilize them. So that's one of the things we're
You are equal or more so than Adam.
Yeah, yeah.
So he tries to tell you what to do. Make sure that you let him know who you are and where you're from.
also sugars in there.
You should like seal that with apple. They buy the apple, right? Ooh, okay. It's like when you break bread or something.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, okay, this is our covenant. You know now that you're from me. So now she goes and Adam, you gotta eat this apple because she wants him to know the truth. She wants to know that she knows the truth, right? She's like, what? He's like, she just eat the apple. So she's like, eats the apple. And then he realizes it. And now that's the original sin. They know the truth of the creation. And it's not, and there's a bug in the system. When they took Lilith out of the picture, that created a bug. The first bug in the Earth system was that happened.
I love
Right?
that. Yeah.
And after that, that's when everything went to hell because the first division happened. Male and female. The sex war was the first division. And the art of war was based off knowing that knowledge. That man and woman are at odds with each other because man's trying to make up for thinking they're the default human when women are the default human beings. We should automatically bow down to goddess and whatever you want, goddess.
We will.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Do
I
it.
feel like, come on.
Get that.
They're the original Stargate. Come on. That's what I've always
Ability
said.
to create just like goddess can.
So I would say if anything came from the Stargate came from. Okay, now you can come into our reality.
Oh, thank you. When I started out, it's like, first it was dark, very dark, so dark that people that hadn't been invented yet were knocking their shins into coffee tables. So they finally started smelling like pee because nobody knew where to go. It was so dark, so that's what got us at enough.
Wow, holy smokes. That's cool. That
I
happened
would
to that, yeah. That was a feeling that
you
came.
know how I tapped in that? My stepdad one day was sitting on the couch, my mom, and both the men said, and he looked over and he goes, I think I'm going to rewrite the Bible.
Wow.
And I said, really? He goes, yeah, I'll start at Genesis. And
Yeah, there we go.
I used to think he started at Revelations because that's the first book I read. And it's got the other verses. Let me read this back chapter first. Oh, what did she do? 12 years old.
Whoa.
Beast with all these lion's head and all this stuff, and I was like, this is scary stuff. And I was like, I don't need more. Yeah, I'm good for a while.
You
Then I
started
read
the
The Hobbit. I was okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's awesome.
So, where are you?
We're right now we're